Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Zephyr Chung with Iris Diecast, and today we're going to be reviewing my Hyundai Tucson by CM Models. Now, apparently, what I said uh, in the last video about the Elantra's manufacturer being CM Models was wrong. So, CM Models is just an idiomatic categorization we Koreans use to refer to any models um, made by Chinese model car brands. So while I both listed the Elantra and the Tucson as CM models, they may actually be made by different model car manufacturers. So why didn't I list them under the correct brand name? Well, it's because there isn't a name under the car and there isn't a name on the box, just a bunch of Chinese characters I can't read. So, to be honest, I have no idea these what specific brand made this model. So this is a third generation Tucson. This model is badged as IX35 because that's the export name for the Tucson in some Asian countries. It's not the most interesting car, but it did make a quite long appearance on the Walking Dead series a couple years ago. So now these things are very rare, even in Korea. New cars go around like 160 to 170,000 Korean won, which is around 155 to 160 US dollars. I got this one for a great bargain um, from a non-collector who happened to have this car because the seller worked at Hyundai. But like all models that non-collectors sell, this one is in a fairly poor shape, let's say. So it has missing mirrors, dents here and there, but it all made up with this crazy price of 3,000 won, which is less than $3. So let's get started and see what this Tucson has in store for us. The front end is overall very nicely made. So let's go to the headlamps. I can't see any pegs, and the bulbs um, inside the headlamps are pretty nicely done, and it's really well made. The grills are completely blocked, unfortunately, but like some of the cheaper diecast cars, which I guess might be considered as a drawback. The fog lights down here are made very nice, very nicely with these chrome edges and the actual bulb as a separate plastic piece inside there. Um, the engine room is actually very sweet. Um, I may even dare say that the attention to detail in the engine room of this Tucson is even good as that of a higher end brand like Kyosho or Audouard. They got, you know, even the smallest details done, and the finishing is really well done. Usually, cheaper cars have smeared warning stickers and colored parts, but this one's really well made and has even this rod thing, I guess, which is meant to hold up the hood in the real car. Although, as for the model, it uses hinges to support the hood. While the front of the model was really well made, the same cannot be said for the side of this car. And personally, this is what made me very reluctant to give this car a positive comment. So, the rims on this car is absolutely horrible. So, it's way too small for the car, and it gives a very unrealistic and it kind of makes the car look dumb, in my opinion. The disc brakes are there, but it doesn't look so nice. It looks very cheap and simple. They did the details on the tires. It has the Kumo tire brand here, but I kind of wish, I kind of think it would have been better if they hadn't done these wavy patterns in the tires. I think it stands out way too much. The opening gap the gap between the opening parts and the body of the car are nice, except for the rear doors here, which you can see bits of a silver body through here, like that. So, but the overall paint quality is really good, and I'm actually quite happy with it. It's finished really cleanly, and usually these Chinese models have bad paint quality, so that was a relief. This car does offer opening front and rear doors, but most importantly, it provides a wide opening angle. Finally. So the door panels are simply painted on. It's not as detailed uh, as the Elantra we reviewed last week. And the interior itself is not bad. Uh, I love how they did the center of the car with the monitor and the buttons around it, and the detail they put into the speed therometer there. That's pretty nice. But and they did the carpets down there, but the buttons to the left of the steering wheel is kind of blurry, along with the AC vent, and the same for the gears there. So that's some minor drawbacks. The seats are done quite nicely. I love how they express the texture difference in the middle of the seats. But for some reason, it just doesn't feel as nice as some of the seats you find on Ottawa or Kyosho cars, or for that matter, even the Elantra we reviewed last week. Here is the top of the car. You can see the interior um, from the roof, and I kind of wish they had an opening sunroof because it would be really cool, but unfortunately, it doesn't come with that feature. Here is the rear of the car. The previous owner glued the rear license plate onto the wrong place, and I really wish they hadn't done that because I just can't take it off now. The rear was also pretty disappointing for me, mostly because of these rear lamps. Not only are they slightly disconnected, you can see they're not perfectly connected over there. So I guess they kind of wanted to hide the pegs, because what they did was they moved the peg over to the edge where the door opened. So this actually here is a peg. The light is not cracked. But as a result, the the there it looks like there's a really large gap between the trunk and the body, and sometimes it looks like the light itself is cracked. So I personally think it looks absolutely terrible, and I never thought I'd say this, but Maisto's way of doing things, smacking pegs right in the middle, seems a lot better than this. Um, they did they expressed the heated rear windows right there. Oh, what's wrong with it? The camera's getting blurry for some reason. We got emblem pieces for the Hyundai logo and the car logo down there. They got a separate plastic piece for that light down there. As for the trunk, we have gas lifts, which are usually found in really expensive model cars. For that, I spare no compliments. It's really awesome. We have carpet trim on the floor of the trunk and in the back of the seats. So that's pretty nice. And you can open this flap to see the spare tire inside there. And unlike the Elantra, uh, this car actually uses the same type of rims that are on the other four tires. So that's pretty nice. It's a little bit dark in there, so I can't really get a good view. The undercarriage of the car is pretty well detailed, although if there is one thing I don't really get is what that line here does. It's not connected to anything. It's not the axle. I really don't know why it's there. So that's it, my review on the 118 scale Hyundai Tucson by China models. These aren't there aren't all there many videos. There aren't all that many videos of Korean diecast cars, so I'm currently focusing on these cars as a way of promoting Korean diecast cars. It's not a bad model at all, but like I said earlier, the rims make it really hard for me to appreciate the car. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what I should work on for the next video. So I'll see you guys later then.